So we're ready for baseball here in game number 2 as Post State will look for a doubleheader sweep over the Mandan Chiefs, winning game 1 10-4. And we'll look with Colin Bergman on the mound, look for that second win and move the winning streak up to 7 in a row. 13-4 on the season now are the Pierre Post State baseball team, as they will try and go 10 games over 500 before they travel the Minot tournament this coming weekend. It'll be the first of 3 tournaments for Post State this year. They will also play in the new Dakota Classic. The Dakota Classic actually still happened in the same weekend, but Post State did not play in that tournament. They instead hosted Renner and Post 22. They will play in the new Dakota Classic July 10th through the 12th, and then will be the next weekend at Thursday through Sunday at the Veterans Classic over in Rapid City. As for Post State, and I had that sheet with me of what those games were, as the website showed. Post State will play on that Thursday. That's at 3:30, the only game on Thursday. They'll play a doubleheader on Friday at 8 and 10:30 in the morning. So those are all local time. So it'll be 4:30 Central Time, 9, and then following that on Friday Central Time. Then on Saturday, it'll be 4:30 Central Time, followed by the doubleheader. They'll take on Gillette and then the Hard Hats on Saturday. And it'll all depend on where they are at from each group, whether they are the 1 through 6 seed. If they're in the championship game, they'll play the Fitzgerald at 3:30 for that championship of the Veterans Classic. But they will play all their games at the Fitz, as it's a combined tournament between Post 22 and Post 320. And they're in the Post 22 side of the pool in the Fitzgerald Stadium. Play Millard West, Post 320 Shooters, Sioux Falls West, Gillette, and the Hard Hats. And those 5 games, and then will be played on Sunday as well. We'll have all 6 of those games on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. First pitch from Colin Brueggemann is inside to the leadoff hitter at 7:39 here on this Wednesday evening. Glad you could join us here for game number 2. Hope you join us for game 1, that 10-4 win. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Brueggemann to Anthony Johnson. That's also outside, and it's now 2-0. To leadoff hitter, Johnson went 1 for 4 in game number 1. Came around to score one of the 4 runs for the Mandan Chiefs. Here's the 2-0. Over for strike 1, and it's now 2-1 to the leadoff hitter in game number 2. Thanks to Casey Keenholz of the Pierre Governor volleyball team, as she came up, joined us, talked some volleyball as their season looks to get started here. Two months and 4 days before their first game. Now 2-2, which is also the same time that the Pierre Governor football team will open up on the road out west. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one is just missed, low and away. It's now 3-2. And as long as fall sports happen, we'll have plenty of sports on our airways. It's going to be a pretty hectic time for today's KCCR. 3-2 pitch is grounded to the first baseman, Dean. He will feel it, take it to the bag himself, and the leadoff man is retired to open up things here in the top of the first inning. And that'll bring in Easton Andreessen. Andreessen went 0 for 3 in game number 1. But with the Major League Baseball starting it next month, July 23rd and 24th, so a month from today. Should have all the opening days taken care of by this point. As the first pitch comes into Andreessen, that one's over for strike one. We'll have some baseball, most likely on today's KCCR. We'll have some football starting in September. We'll also have NBA, NHL, however much we can jam into today's KCCR, as it's now 0-2 to Easton Andreessen. A lot of sports for you. A lot of sports for you right now, even with little going on. Had plenty of baseball. This is the 18th game of the season for Post State. That one's grounded foul. It stays at 0-2. We've had 18 games so far, and June 7th was our first day. So 18 games, 18 days. Why not? Obviously, had a couple of days off in between with a lot of these being doubleheaders, all of them being doubleheaders. The 0-2 pitch, swinging a miss, and Bruggeman gets Andreessen down on strikes, and there's now 2 down here to open up the top of the first. Jack Van Camp is out in left field. Van Camp, Life, and Van Camp, as Will Van Camp is out in right. A.J. Gein at third, Stout at short, who led at second, and Dean at first. Kate Hinkle is behind the plate. Here's the first pitch from Colin Bruggeman. Is over for strike one. The number 3 hitter, Isaac Huddle, 1 for 3 in game number 1. Trying to think of a catchy way to put both Van Camps into somewhat of a phrase. I had the 2 Upton brothers playing in Atlanta at one point. As that pitch will bounce in, Justin Upton, and at first it was B.J. Upton, and then he went to his real name, which was Melvin Upton Jr., and they had Jason Hayward in the outfield as well, and they call it up, and a hay, which is pretty catchy. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Grounded down to the first base line again. Dean will take it to the bag himself, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Colin Bruggeman. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the first. Post State coming to the bats. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Bottom of the first inning, Post State to the plate. It is going to be Garrett Stout to lead things off. Andrew Coverdale will have his first break from that leadoff spot, as he will not play here in game number 2, at least not start here in game number 2. Kate Hinkle will follow him, and then A.J. Gein is in number 3 spot. He's a third baseman. Gray Zabel will provide the protection as the DH in the cleanup spot. Bennett Dean will be the first baseman, batting 5th. That's Jack Van Camp and Will Van Camp, the left fielder and right fielder, batting 6th and 7th. Elliott Life will bat 8th, playing center field. And Justin Houlette will round out the order as he bats 9th here in the bottom of in the order for Post State, as they will go against Lucas Burgum. The right-hander finishes his warm-up tosses. Garrett Stout will wait for his first at-bats of the evening. He came into the game as a defensive replacement when A.J. Gein took the mound. Matt Luss came out of the ball game, and Stout came in for Bruggeman, who was the DH, and he was able to get ready and get loose and had a good top of the first inning with 2 ground outs to the first baseman with a strikeout sandwiching. I guess the 2 ground outs were sandwiching the strikeout. So Stout will dig in and wait on the first pitch from Burgum, and the first pitch is taken for strike 1. Shadows are starting to creep behind home plate. The umpire is in shadows, but the catcher is not in shadows yet. That's how fine that line is right now. It's now 1-1. Here it's Stouts, waits on the 1-1. He will lace that one out to right field. That one's going back, way back, turning and looking, and sailing for a leadoff home run for Garrett Stouts. His second of the year, and it's 1-0 Post States. Wasting no time are the Eights here in game number 2. And Stout leads it off with a home run. He continues to make sure that leadoff spot is dominant in the first inning. So here's Cade Hinkle. That's the one thing that Andrew Coverdale hadn't done in the leadoff spot. That was hit a home run. So Stout did that, his second of the year. There's a ground ball in the next pitch. And a good bounce back pitch from Burgum as he will take it to the bag at the first baseman and Andreessen. And the number 2 hitter is retired for the first outs. And I'll bring in A.J. Gaden. Avery Johnson out in left field. Blake Aarons in center. Jablonski is in right field. Bogner, the third baseman. Schmidt, the shortstop. Kuntz is the second baseman. And Andreessen at first. Huddles the catcher, and Burgum delivers ball 1 to A.J. Gaden. Gaden was 0 for 3 in game 1. Did come in and record the final 6 outs without allowing a hit in those final 6 outs. The 1-0 is right down the middle, and it's now 1-1. Ray Zabel waits on deck. He'll have a chance here to hit in the bottom of the first inning. Now 1-2 as Gaden goes fishing on a pitch that goes in the dirt. Near the 1-2 count. Burgum from the windup. Oh, hesitating, the ball will bounce in and goes off the umpire, and it's now 2-2. And again, this coming weekend at 3:30, and then following that game, Post State will play those 2 on Friday in Minot. We'll have both those games for you on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. And then Saturday will be 10 a.m. and then 2:30. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That one is looked out for strike 3 as the curveball catches the zone, and Gaden goes down on strikes. There's now 2 down. And here's Gray Zabel. Post State has now hit 6 home runs this season. Zabel has not accounted for any of the 6 so far. Here's the first pitch to Burgum to Zabel. He'll lace that one down the left field line. And as he go foul, one hops off that wall in the corner. Talking to Dirk Campbell, the assistant coach of the Pierre Governor High School baseball team today. And we're talking about how well this team is hitting. And the home runs that have been hit by Andy Gordon, Garrett Stout, Jack Van Camp, Matt Lusk. Stout's got 2. And somehow I believe I've forgotten one so far. Doesn't seem like a very good of me to forget. Bennett Dean hit the other one. There we go. 6 home runs by 5 different guys. And we were kind of surprised that Zabel hasn't gotten one of those 6 home runs. That one's chopped at the plate and a good over-the-shoulder grab by Burgum. And he'll throw Zabel out at first. And that will end the inning. 1 run on 1 hit, and that one hit was a home run for Garrett Stout. No errors and no one left on base. We've played a 1 complete. Post State has a 1-0 lead. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Top of the second inning. 1-0 is our score as Mandan will have 4, 5, and 6 to lead things off. It'll be Cole Schmidt, Lucas Burgum, and Blake Ahrens. Anybody gets on base to be Avery Bogner. 7, 8, and 9. Those three hitters have not been in the lineup or did not hit in the game one. The first 6 did. As Colin Bergman had short work of that first inning for the Mandan Chiefs with 2 groundouts to the first baseman and a strikeout to Easton Andreessen. Here's Cole Schmidt. He was 2 for 2 in game number 1. Schmidt reached base all 3 times. He drew a walk as well. He drove in 3 runs. He drove in 3 of the 4 runs. First pitch to Schmidt is a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. He doubled home Huddle in the first inning. He drove in 2 runs with an RBI single, 2 RBI single in the 5th inning. The 0-1 pitch is a curveball that's Schmidt says it looped over the top of his letters, but the umpire called it strike 2 as it went across the letters. And it's now 0-2 here as Bergman will deliver from the windup. Curveball that bounces in front of the plate, and it's now 1-2. Again, those shadows still not affecting much yet. The 1-2 pitch. That one misses low, now 2-2. Hinkle is nearly in the entire, is in the shadows now with the home plate umpire, but still has not reached in front of the batter. The 2-2 pitch. Upstairs now 3-2. Shadows from a tree are getting close to the mound, but have not passed just one little sliver of the light pole that's in between the mound and home plate right now. 3-2 pitch. That one's fouled back, and it'll remain at 3-2. Van Camp and Van Camp are in left and right field. Jackson left, Wills in right. Elliott Life in between them in center field. Here's the 3-2 one more time. Upstairs on a leadoff walk, first base runner of the game for Mandan. I'll bring in Lucas Burgum. Burgum pitching here in game number 2. He gave up a leadoff home run to Garrett Stout and retired the next 3 in order on 2 ground balls and a strikeout. Burgum went 1 for 3 in game number 1. Bergman worked from the stretch for the first time. First pitch and a swing and a miss as Burgum was well out in front of that first from Bergman. Leaning away from first is Schmidt. Bergman will get the sign. He'll check the runner and come set. Here's the 0-1 from the right-hander. Right at the knees, now 0-2. Good crowd here from Pierre as we have started game number 2. Mandan, a sparse crowd with the long travel. Not many fan bases travel as well as the Pierre fan base travels, if any, really at all. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's popped up on the infield. Hayden will call for it at third base. He will make the catch, and there's one down. And that'll bring in Blake Ahrens, who went 1 for 2 in game number 1, the center fielder. He looked at yesterday, and Pierre had a strong fan base, and the game started at 11 o'clock in the morning. If the parents were coming with the kids, they had to be leaving about 6. And really, all the parents and all the fans were pretty much there by 9 o'clock, 9:30. Shows the support that Pierre has in this area. 0-1's the count to Blake Ahrens, the 0-1 pitch. That one's popped up and fouled, and that will get out of play. And it's now 0-2. On deck is Avery Bogner. It'll be his first at-bat of the ball game, or first at-bat of the day when he comes to the plate. Bergman will check the sign. He will shake off 2 different signs from Hinkle. Here's now the 0-2 pitch. Upstairs, runner is off for second. The throw, and that was not going to be well wide, and a stolen base for Cole Schmidt. The count is now 1-2. Keeps him out of the double play. Barring a line drive that doubles off Schmidt at second. So here's the 1-2. That one's a little flare. Second baseman Hulette will call, make the catch, and there's now 2 down. And that'll bring in Avery Bogner. Bogner with the runner at second and 2 down, looking to try and tie this ball game up here at the top of the second. First pitch coming from Bergman to Bogner is inside for ball 1. This Mandan team, this is the team we will see Saturday morning up in Minot. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one is well inside now, 2-0. East Grand Forks at 3:30. Bismarck to follow on that Friday. Mandan at 10 a.m. It'll be Minot at 2:30. The Vistas hosting this tournament. Just a little bit different format than it was last year. 2-0 misses down low, and it's now 3-0. Saskatoon and Regina are both not playing this year because, well, they are in from Canada and border being closed and just don't want to have to quarantine if they even do leave the country to come play. I really want to take 2 weeks off just to come play in the Minot tournament. It's a 3-0 count and a swing and a foul tip at the plate by Bogner. And it's now 3-1. Hadn't gave him the green light. So here's the 3-1 again with a runner on second. That one's on the edge. Is now 3-2. And Bergman from 3-0 have made this a full count pitch coming up. 3-2 is the count. Bergman will shake off Hinkle for the first sign. He comes set. Here's the payoff pitch. Line shot just foul down the third base line. Another foot farther, and that would have gone off the third base bag. And outside of a quick hop to Gaden, that would have tied the ball game up. So we'll do it again at 3-2. On deck is Tate Jablonski. Bergman. He'll come set, the 3-2. That one misses in the dirt. Heading off for third is the runner, and Gaden with the tag, not in time. And it's now first and third as Schmidt will take third on the ball that gets in the dirt. And here is Tate Jablonski. Stenton Kuntz will be on deck with 2 down here in the top of the second. No hits so far for the Chiefs. And both base runners have come from a walk. First pitch is at the letters to Jablonski. After the Minot tournament, Post State will have Monday and Tuesday off and then travel to Watertown before a Minot and Sturgis triangular on Thursday, right before the 4th of July. And then Minot will be in town that following Monday on the 5th, along with Sioux Falls East for a triangular. And then it'll be, I believe, what I heard was just a single game on that Tuesday. Be a Tuesday afternoon game for Minot to travel back. Ball gets in the dirt. Count is 1-1, and up to second is Bogner. So there's 2 runners in scoring position. Count is at 1-1. Jablonski's first plate appearance here of the day. Bergman from the windup, the 1-1. Swing and a miss, now 1-2. And Bergman will look to get out of this 2-out jam. Schmidt is at third, Bogner at second. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Bergman. Curveball. Laced into left field, and Jack Van Camp will go over to make the catch, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. Post State leads 1-0. You're listening to Post State Baseball. Today's KCCR, and today's KCCR.com. Back here for the bottom of the second inning, as it'll be Ben and Dean, Jack Van Camp, and Will Van Camp, 5, 6, and 7 for the Eights as they lead 1-0. Bennett Dean went 0 for 3 in game number 1. He will lead things off against Lucas Burgum, who gave up a leadoff home at Stout and then retired the next 3 in order. From the windup, here's the first pitch. That one is off the catcher's mitt, but right down the middle for strike 1. Burgum will get the sign from the windup. The 1-0 pitch will bounce in now 1-1. Dean is one of the 5 guys that have hit a home run so far this season for Post State. Something we didn't see very often. He had 5 home runs all of last year in the Post State season. That one's popped up by Dean on the left side of the infield. The shortstop Schmidt will call and make the catch, and the leadoff man is retired here in the bottom of the second. Last year, Zabel and Stout each hit 2 home runs, and Kobe Carr hit the 5th home run. Those 3 were the only 3 that were able to send one out of the ballpark. Here is Jack Van Camp, his first plate appearance here. First pitch is taken for strike 1 to Van Camp. Van Camp, he finished 3 for 4 yesterday. Hit 3 hits in a row. It started out 0 for 1. He got 3 hits in a row to finish out his performance. In the middle of those 2 hits end up just happened to be a grand slam for him. Here's the 1-1. That one's grounded foul and is now 1-2. Burgum will look for his 5th consecutive putouts as the 1-2 pitch comes in and just misses inside, now 2-2. So Van Camp has got some good confidence on the mound. He threw against Aberdeen last week Wednesday and threw a 5-inning complete game win. That one's in the right field, and that one's going to get down for a base hit right over the top of the second baseman's head. And Van Camp picks up where he left off. He's now 4 for his last 4, dating back to the last game. That'll bring in Will Van Camp. So the Van Camps are looking to get on base in back-to-back at-bats. But Van Camp, Jack Van Camp, with those 5 innings, got the 11-1 win, and then went all 7 with 14 strikeouts yesterday, and then hit that grand slam. So the confidence continues to blossom for Jack Van Camp. Will Van Camp swings and misses the first pitch. It's 0-1. He went 0 for 2 in game number 1. Van Camp will lead away from first. Here the 0-1 to Will, and that one's inside, 1-1. It's hard to do. Don't see that very often. Usually when they're in the lineup together, Jack's pitching and Will's out in the field, so they're not hitting both hitting in the batting order. 1-1 is taken for strike 2 on the nice curveball from Burgum. Now they're hitting 6 and 7 in the order. So Will Van Camp is down 1-2 in the count. Jack leads away from first. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Will out towards left field. Coming in on is the left fielder. He will make the catch. And Anthony Johnson. And there's now 2 down. And here's Elliott Life. Life is 0 for 2. Went 0 for 2 in game number 1. Jack will lead away from first. A throw over and diving back in safely. Just 2 hits in the ball game so far. They're both coming from Post State, a home run and a single. Makes it a 1-0 lead. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Life will dig back in. Burgum will come set from the sign. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Van Camp's taking off for a second. Pitcher had not thrown it yet, and the tag is applied, and Van Camp is picked off trying to reach second, and that will end the inning here in the bottom of the second inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no one left on base. We've played 2 complete. Post State has a 1-0 lead over Mandan. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Top of the third inning, Colin Bergman on for his third inning of work. He will face 9-1-2. Kuntz, Johnson, and Andreessen will be the first 3 batters to face him, as he has gotten 2 scoreless innings so far, just 2 walks, the only 2 base runners for Mandan in the first 2 innings. With a 1-0 lead here in the top of the third, Post State, they've won 6 in a row. Looking for win number 7 would be 14-4 on the season. And a 10 games over 500 heading into Minot. And this team has been hitting the ball really well so far this season. And one that you hope they can continue and see and reap the rewards of it going into the postseason at the end of July. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1 to Stenson Kuntz. He came into pitch in game number 1, did not swing the bat. But here he's got his first plate appearance. 1-0 is inside now, 2-0. Shadows are going to be a little bit misleading here as home plate. Most of all, the home plate circle is in the shadows. The 2-0 is outside now, 3-0. Where Bergman releases it, it goes either it's in the shadows when he releases it or his hand comes out at the very end. Right before he releases it. The 3-0 pitch. That one's over for one. And those shadows can really mess with a hitter's head trying to see where that ball's coming and see the spin on it. 3-1 pitch is grounded to the third baseman, Gaten. Able to backpedal just a little bit. The throw to first is in time. And the leadoff man is retired here to open up the top of the third. And the throw from Benedine, I believe, went right through the sun for Garrett Stout, so he had no idea where that ball was coming in. And there's one down here in the top of the third inning. And that'll bring in the top of the order and Anthony Johnson. Johnson grounded out to Dean in his first at-bat. Bergman, curveball that misses upstairs, 1-0. Bergman from the windup. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a foul, and it's now 1-1. Johnson 1 for 5 now of the day. Went 1 for 4 in game number 1. Here's the 1-1 from Bergman to Johnson. Curveball over for strike 2. It's now 1-2. We are past that 8 o'clock hour. Listen to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. Bergman from the windup, the 1-2 pitch. Curveball swing and a miss. Tied up Johnson and Knotts. And there's now 2 down. And the second strikeout of the game for Colin Bergman. Johnson had no chance. That was a last millisecond decision to swing at the pitch. I mean, that was all nothing but arms. There was no hip turn, nothing. The first pitch to Easton Andreessen hits him. So 2 out, a man is aboard for hit by pitch. Well, that was one where you absolutely fooled the hitter in Johnson, and that swing is not going to. Your batting average is going to be not very good if you have multiple swings like that. Here's Isaac Huddle. He grounded out to Dean to end the top of the first inning. Check over at first and back in safely is Andreessen. That sun on the left side could be dangerous for the left fielder, Jack Van Camp. The first pitch is taken for strike one. AJ Gaten, Garrett Stout. Stout's not wearing his sunglasses, and sometimes the sunglasses don't even do any good to have them on if you're looking straight into the sun. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Curveball again drops through the zone and is now 0-2. And Brigman's a strike away from getting out of this inning. Bergman will come set. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball outside, now 1-2. Looks like maybe a pitch out call from Cade Hinkle. Bergman will get the sign. Here's the 1-2. Curveball outside, 2-2. It's the third curveball we've seen in this at-bat from Bergman to Huddle. Here's a 2-2. Couple of checks to the runner at first. 2-2 is looked at for a strike three right at the knees. And a second strikeout of the inning, third in the game for Bergman. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on base. We played 2.5, and Post 8 has a 1-0 lead. You listen to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR, today's KCCR.com. Bottom of the third inning, 8-9-1. Elliott Life, Justin Hulatz, and the back of the top of the order for Garrett Stout. Life was left sitting at home plate whenever Jack Van Camp was thrown out, trying to steal before the pitch had gone from the pitcher in Lucas Burgum. Life in game number 1 went 0 for 2 as he looks for his first base hit. And for Post 8, 2 hits up on the scoreboard right now, but they have not left anybody on base. Stout hit a home run, and Van Camp, who got a base hit, was thrown out trying to steal. So far, it's just 2 hits in the ball game between the two teams. We've had 5 base runners in total through 2.5. First pitch to Elliott Life. Over for strike one. Shading Life to pull in the outfield. The center fielder, Aarons, is shading to that right center field gap. The 0-1 is over at the knees, now 0-2. From the windup, the 0-2 from Burgum to Life. Swing and a miss. And a 3-pitch strikeout to open up the bottom of the third. That'll bring in Justin Hulatz. Hulett in his first at bat here, first plate appearance of the day. Looking to get on base for the top of the order. First pitch to Hulett is taken for strike one. They got to start on the mound here in this third inning for Burgum. 4 straight strikes. From the windup, here's the 0-1. Make it 5 straight. That one's over, and it's now 0-2. And just like Elliott Life, Justin Hulett's got a battle down 0-2 in the count. We'll take 0-2 for ball one. We're going to have a little bit longer of a battle at least than Elliott Life did. Here's the 1-2 from Burgum. Swing and a miss, and Hulett goes down on strikes. It's back-to-back strikeouts. And here's Garrett Stout. Led off the bottom of the first with a home run. And he will step back in, maybe looking to go 2 for 2 with 2 bombs. First pitch is a curveball over for strike one. Burgum wasting no time here in this bottom of the third. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball that drops just too low the zone. And it's now 1-1. Here's the 1-1 to the shortstop, Stout. That one's on the ground on the right side, fielded by the second baseman with a slide. The throw to first is in time, and Stout will avoid the first baseman and Andreessen. And that will end the bottom of the third inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. We head to the top of the fourth. Post State still leads 1-0 over Mandan. You listen to Post State Baseball. Today is KCCR. Today is KCCR.com. Top of the fourth inning. Colin Bergman on for his fourth inning of work. Cole Schmidt, Lucas Burgum, and Blake Ahrens, 4, 5, and 6 to meet him here to open up this fourth inning. Both states, they've gotten just 1 run on 2 hits so far. They've only had 2 base runners, and the Jack Van Camp, who was the second base runner, was thrown out trying to steal. And so it'll be Cole Schmidt to lead things off. Walked in his first first plate appearance. Stole second, was straight at third. Or 3 walks from Colin Bergman. It's going to be 2 walks and a hit by pitch. First pitch to Schmidt is missed low in the dirt, and it's 1-0. Schmidt, Burgum, and Ahrens, the 1-0 pitch. That one's chopped foul. And it's now 1-1. Playing here, game number 2 of the doubleheader between Post State and the Mandan Chiefs. 1-1 is upstairs now, 2-1. Post State won game 1, 10-4. They lead 1-0 here in game number 2 as the 2-1 pitch is inside now, 3-1. Colin Bergman has allowed 3 free passes. In danger of that 4th one. And here comes the 3-1 from Bergman. That one will be a leadoff walk, just like Schmidt led off the top of the second. And here's Lucas Burgum. Burgum, he popped out to the third baseman, Gaden, in the top of the second. He's 0 for 1. He's 1 for 4 overall. If he can find one in the gap, he could tie the ball game up, help himself out. But he's going to show Bunton to try and move that man over to pitches inside as he pulls it back and is taken for ball 1. Bergman will come set. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swinging and fouling it, capped it off the end of the bat. Way out in front of it, ended up going to the first base dugout, and it's now 1-1. At first is Schmidt. Bergman from the stretch. Here's the 1-1. That one's popped up on the infield. Going into shallow center field is Garrett Stout. He'll take charge and call off Elliott Life. And there's the first out. Usually that the outfielder has the right of way. He takes charge because he's coming in. A lot easier play than the shortstop going out. But Stout called off Elliott Life and made the catch for the first out. So here is Blake Ahrens. Ahrens is 0 for 1. Runner is off. Pitch is a swing and a miss in the dirt. And it will be an easy steal for Cole Schmidt. Might have had the hit and run on with that swing from Ahrens. As that one was nowhere near the zone, but he swung at it anyway, so it's 0-1. That tying run has moved up to second. Schmidt's got all the way to third, out back in the second inning, but was left stranded there. The 0-1 pitch is upstairs now, 1-1. Avery Bogner is on deck. Bogner also drew a walk in his first trip to the plate. 1-1 pitch. That one's popped up right at home plate. Hinkle will make the catch. That's a tough play for Hinkle to make. A lot of times you want to try and turn yourself around and have your back to the field, but he really probably would have done more harm than good turning himself around for that because it wasn't up high enough. And he was able to make the grab. That could have been a dangerous play. With 2 down, a good block there from Hinkle on the first pitch to Bogner. Goes in the dirt. Hinkle allowed that ball to go nowhere but right in front of him. At second is Schmidt. The throw, and Stout, I don't know how he was able to scoop that throw and pickoff attempt as it was going to his right as he was moving to his left. That keeps him from going into center field. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That one will be in the dirt. Stopped by Hinkle. And it's now 2-0. Jablonski is on deck. Bergman will go from the stretch. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's inside now, 3-0. Have an open base over at first. But want to try and go and attack the hitter right now for Colin Bergman. Here's a 3-0. That one misses, 4-pitch walk. And now it's first and second with 2 down. Here is Tate Jablonski. He lined one out to left field to end the top of the second inning. Kuntz is on deck. Here's the first pitch. That one almost hits Jablonski. So Bergman struggling to find the strike zone here in his last 5 pitches. Bergman comes set again. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs at the letters, and it's now 1-1. There's one to build off for Colin Bergman. 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Two men on base, first and second, 1-1 pitch. That one's taken for a strike. The throw back to first. They got him picked off at first, and that's going to end the inning. And a good throw from Cade Hinkle and a good tag from Benedine ends the top of the fourth. And that will retire the side in the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors. One man left on base. We have played 3.5. Post 8 still leads Mandan 1-0. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Bottom of the fourth inning. It is a 1-0 lead for Post 8. Cade Hinkle, A.J. Gayden, and Gray Zabel. 2, 3, and 4 for Post 8. As they lead 1-0 on just 2 hits so far. They've only had 2 base runners. Mandan, no runs, no hits, and no errors through 4 innings. They've had 5 base runners, but 4 men left on base. As Bogner was picked off to end the top of the 4th inning. First pitch is inside to Cade Hinkle. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one misses low now, 2-0. Shadows are all the way through here. Somewhat making things a little bit more difficult. Goes from the sun to the shadows to sun, shadows, sun, shadows again. Now it's 2-1. A little bit of the trees and people as well walking across. Here's the 2-1 pitch, at least from this vantage point. Now it's 3-1. Lights have not turned on yet here at Hyatt Stadium. Here's the 3-1 to Cade Hinkle. That one's grounded to the first baseman. It is a fair ball, and it will be a nice flip and catch from the first baseman to the pitcher. And the leadoff man is retired. And Cade Hinkle here in the bottom of the 4th inning, and now bringing A.J. Gayden. Gayden's 0 for 1. He struck out looking. He's 0 for 4 on the day. Not a whole lot of hits to go around so far for Post 8. Just 9 hits in 9 innings. 9 in the 3rd innings of at-bats. Here is Burgum's 1-0, and it's now 2-0 as it misses low and in the dirt. Zabel on deck. Dean would be after that if they can get at least 1 base runner here in the 4th inning. Here is the 2-0 pitch. There's a ground ball, 1 hopper, the shortstop, and right to him. So the throw to first is in time. Schmidt to Andreessen. There's now 2 down. And here is Gray Zabel. Zabel grounded back to the pitcher in his first at-bat. The shift will be somewhat on. They're leaving a lot of room down the left field line, and Zabel loves to take it the other way. Here's the first pitch. Upstairs and outside at 1-0. Zabel's got another couple weeks. Really 1 full week left after this. As it's now 1-1 as he swings and misses. He'll have to go report to North Dakota State, but will do his best to get back on weekends. Continue to play for Post 8. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one is a curveball that's at the knees, now 1-2. Miss his presence during the weekdays and hopefully have a strong presence on the weekends. 1-2 pitch. That one is looked at for strike 3, and Zabel goes down on strikes, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Burgham in the bottom of the 4th. We head to the 5th inning. Post State still has a 1-0 lead over the Mandan Chiefs. Listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back here to the top of the 5th inning, as Colin Bergman works to the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Jablonski, who was left at the plate in the top of the 4th, will now to get a chance to hit again. Jablonski, Kuntz, and Johnson will be the first 3 hitters. Whoever gets on base, it'll be Easton and Dreesen. So Bergman has worked through 4 innings. He's walked 4, hit another guy. He has struck out 3. And that's all that's been allowed so far from Bergman as the first pitch is taken inside. So I want to say that again. Just 4 walks and a hit by pitch. That's the only base runners that Bergman has allowed. That one's popped up and fouled out of play. And it's now 0-2. Kuntz is on deck. He grounded out to the third baseman in his first at-bat. So Jablonski, I believe it was a 1-1 count that he was left at the plate when Bogner was picked off at first. Here's the 0-2 from Bergman. There's a ground ball to the left side. Stout will round. He'll field. The long throw to first is in time. The leadoff man is retired here to open up the top of the 5th inning. And that'll bring in Stetson Kuntz. So Kuntz will here with 1 down in the bottom of the top of the 5th inning. First pitch from Colin Bergman to Kuntz. Swing and a miss. 0-1. So it's got to be somewhat hard over there at third base for A.J. Gaden, almost looking straight in the sun. Garrett Stout, Jack Van Camp, who's got a lot of sun around him out in left field. The 0-1 is missed low now, 1-1. Played 8:36 here on this Wednesday. Lights have still yet to be turned on as we play here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-1 pitch outside, 2-1. So plenty of daylight. Bergman will work from the windup. Here comes the 2-1. That one's at the letters now, 2-2. Bergman looking for his 4th punch out of the ball game. And he's got a 2-2 count to Stetson Kuntz. The 2-2, there's a ground ball to the left side as Gaten will field the throw to first. And there's 2 down. That'll bring in Anthony Johnson. Johnson is 0 for 2. He grounded out to the first baseman, Dean, and he struck out swinging in the third. He bats with 2 away here in the top of the 5th inning. First pitch from Bergman to the left fielder, Johnson. Curveball that's outside, 1-0. Shading Johnson to pull in the outfield. Straight away here in the infield. The 1-0 pitch is over for strike one, and it's now 1-1. And here comes the 1-1 from Bergman. Now 2-1. On deck is Easton Andreessen. Bennett Dean, Jack Van Camp, and Will Van Camp will be the first 3 hitters for Post State in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, and it's now 2-2. Johnson, again, has not looked very sharp at the plate. That one was a late decision and a one that would have been 3-1. Instead, it's now 2-2. And Bergman will look for his 4th strikeout. The 2-2 pitch. Misses upstairs and inside, and the count is now full. Try to throw that fastball by him, maybe get him to bite one more time and fool him with a bad swing. Here's the 3-2 payoff pitch. Just misses inside, and it's a 2-out walk. 5th walk of the game issued by Colin Bergman. Here's Andreessen, who was also hit by a pitch, but he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. So the tying run is on base again. Pickoff attempt, and back in safely is Johnson. Bergman, his pitch count starting to get up there in numbers. Hadn't too many strikeouts, but with 5 walks, first pitch is taken for strike 1 to Andreessen. Bergman with now 87 pitches. The 0-1 is over for strike 2 and is now 0-2. And here for Post State, Bergman's got to try and keep that pitch count down if he wants to try and go for a complete game. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Upstairs, and it's now 1-2. The Chiefs looking to move over to second is Johnson. He leads away from first. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Runner is off. Pitch is in the dirt. And safely is Johnson with a stolen base. And now it's Colin Bergman that needs to bear down and get this final strike. Here's a 2-2. That one's out towards right field. Will Van Camp will go back. He's still going back, and that one will get over for a 2-run home run. And Post State now trails 2-1, and the no-hitter bid for Colin Bergman is ended with a 2-run homer. The first of the ball game for Mandan gives them a 2-1 lead. That ball just kept carrying out towards right field and just snuck over the right field wall. And here's Andreessen, for Isaac Huddle. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. So now Bergman is just about at his end on the pitch count. We want him to get through this 5th inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fouled back, and it's now 1-1. So Andreessen dumps one over the right field wall. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. And Colin Bergman, who had 4 2/3 of no-hit baseball, is now trailing 2-1 with just only one hit allowed. 2-1. No one gets behind the hitter in huddle, and it's now 3-1. On deck is Cole Schmidt. Here's a 3-1 to huddle outside, and it's another walk. And that will bring up the shortstop, Cole Schmidt. Schmidt is not recording at bats. He's walked twice. The catcher huddle will head to the dugout. We'll have a courtesy runner for the Chiefs. We'll see what number that is, if it's number 2. And number 2 is Bennett Klein Connect. First pitch is inside to Cole Schmidt. So Bergman is just about out of pitches here in this ball game. It will have to be relieved rather soon. Swing and a miss, now 1-1. You got to think either way, this will be his last hitter. Whether he gets out of the inning, heads to the bottom of the 5th, a new man will come to the mound in the top of the 6th, or he will be taken out if he is not able to retire this man. And Cole Schmidt now 2-1. Bergman's allowed 6 walks, and he's hit another man, 7 free passes in the ball game with 3 strikeouts. He's able to tiptoe around all of that as that one's popped up. Colin Bergman will call for it, and he will make the catch as Hinkle put his glove right in between the hands of Bergman. But the inning is over. So 2-run score on just 1 hit. It was a 2-run home run from Easton Andreessen. No errors and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's a new ball game. Mandan has a 2-1 lead over Pierre. You listen to Post-State Baseball. Today is KCCR, and today is KCCR.com. It is the bottom of the 5th inning, and it's a new game as Post-State trails 2-1. A 2-run home run from Easton Andreessen has given the Chiefs that 2-1 lead. And on the mound still is Lucas Bergam, who's working on a pretty good day as well. He gave up a leadoff home run, and since then he's given up just 1 hit. And that's been all the base runners for Post-State. Stout had a leadoff homer on the bottom of the 1st. And then Jack Van Camp got a base hit. Dean will chop at the first pitch to the second baseman, and Kuntz, the third of first, is in time. And the leadoff man is retired in 1 pitch here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's Jack Van Camp. See if he can work his magic from yesterday, although nobody on base for that, but still, we'll love to see him get his at least his second hit of the ball game and put that tying run on base. That one's fouled to the right side. Post-State with 1 run on 2 hits. Mandan 2 runs on 1 hit. Here's the 0-1 to Jack Van Camp. And it's now 0-2, trying to get on base for his brother Will Van Camp. Elliott Life would be the man after that. Here's the 0-2. Upstairs now 1-2. Our next broadcast is on Friday, 3:30 in the afternoon, a doubleheader. The 1-2 pitch, swing and miss in the dirt. Throw to first is in time, and Van Camp is down on strikes. And there's now 2 down. And they'll bring in Will Van Camp. He flew out to the left fielder in his first at bat. So Post State, the bats have been silent here in game number 2. After the first batter of the bottom of the first inning. First pitch is to the backstop for ball 1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one also misses low. Now 2-0. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Burgum has found his rhythm and has retired 9 in a row, looking to make it 10 in a row and have 3 straight 1-2-3 innings. If he does retire Will Van Camp, 2-1 is the count. We look at his pitch count. 53 pitches so far for Burgum. There's a fly ball by Will Van Camp, but it's going to hang up for the left fielder and Johnson to make the catch. And it's 10 straight retired now in a row for Burgum. Lucas Burgum, he's gotten 5 complete innings. It's a 2-1 lead for the Mandan Chiefs. As we head to the 6th, you're listening to Post State Baseball. Today it's KCCR, and today it's KCCR.com. Will Van Camp is the new man on the mound for Post State. As Craig Zabel moves into the ball game to play right field. As the DH will be taken out of the ball. DH has moved into the field in right field. And Colin Bergman's day has come to an end. So Will Van Camp will try and keep this a 2-1 ball game to go into the bottom of the 6th inning, where the 8-9 one-hitters to take over. As we look at Bergman's final stats, he went 5 innings. He gave up those 2 runs. Both of them were earned. Just 1 hit. He had, I believe, 7 walks and 8 free passes and just 3 strikeouts. He had 6 walks, 7 free passes in total, and those 3 strikeouts. First pitch is missed for ball 1 to Lucas Burgum, who is 0 for 2. The 1-0 is a swing and a miss, now 1-1. He popped out to the third baseman, popped out to the shortstop. And it's 2 at-bats so far. Here's the 1-1. That one will get to the backstop, and it's now 2-1. Will Van Camp will go from the windup. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one is out towards right field. Zabel going back on it. Into the game, and he makes the catch. And there's 1 down. And that'll bring in Blake Aarons. He'll be followed by Avery Bogner. 1 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Nice play over there in right field by Gray Zabel. Enjoying a chance to play some outfield. Usually is either at first, It's on the mound, or he's the DH. He's out in right field here in game number 2. First pitch is taken for ball 1. Here's the 1-0. That one's on the edge now, 1-1. Ayers is 0 for 2. He popped out to the second baseman, Hulette, and he also popped out in foul territory to the catcher, Cade Hinkle. That one's fouled away, and it's now 1-2. So Will Van Camp looking to have a solid first 2 hitters. That one's out towards left field, going over. Jack Van Camp makes the catch. What a grab there by Jack Van Camp. Racing to his left, reaches up, makes the catch, and falls over for style points. And there's now 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Helping out brother Will. Here's Avery Bogner, who has drawn a walk in both of his trips to the plate. He was caught on a back pick by Cade Hinkle to end the top of the 4th. She kept that no-hitter for Colin Bergman intact, the shutout intact as well. Here's the 1-0. That one misses low now, 2-0. 8-9-1 for Post State. In the bottom of the 6th, Elliott Life, Justin Hulette, and Garrett Stout. Here's a line shot towards the right center field gap. That one's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to be extra bases. Zabel will retrieve it at the wall. He'll turn and throw. The man's trying to go to third, and the overshoots the cutoff man is Zabel, and it's a 2-out triple. And the second hit of the ball game for Mandan has got them 90 feet away from adding insurance to their 2-1 lead. Here's Tate Jablonski. Jablonski's 0 for 2. I believe actually we will have a new man to come hit. It'll be Garrett Freilich that will hit for Jablonski. So Jablonski's day, he goes 0 for 2. Freilich will not get hit by the first pitch. It went to the outside of him in the right-handed batter's box, and it's 1-0. Look back to Freilich in game number 1. Went 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch. A base hit would make it 3-1. 2-0 is the count to Garrett Freilich, who's hitting for Jablonski. Here's a 2-0 from Will Van Camp. Outside, 3-0. On deck is Stetson Kuntz, number 9 hitter in the order. 2 hits apiece for Mandan and Pierre, but a 2-1 lead for the Chiefs. 3-0 is over for strike 1. Be a big man to get right here. Get the number 8 hitter in the order and leave 9. Have that number 9 hitter lead off the top of the 7th. 3-1 pitch. Instead, that number 9 hitter will come to the plate as it's a 2-out walk to Freilich. And then to bring in Stetson Kuntz. Kuntz is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to the third baseman, Gaden, twice. We'll have a pinch hitter coming in for Freilich. And we'll see who that might be. And, of course, he turned the other way, so you can't see the back of his jersey to see what number he is. So it will be Jablonski that will come back in, so they have the re-entry. So Jablonski will pinch it and re-enter the game. So Freilich, his day is done. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Have the re-entry at least here against the North Dakota teams, or at least this North Dakota team. As Freilich came in to pinch it, he walked, and then he was relieved. So it's nice over with. The first pitch is, or the 1-0 pitch is in the dirt now, 2-0. The number 9 hitter, Stetson Kuntz, who has grounded to the third baseman twice. On deck is Anthony Johnson. Mandan trying to add to their 2-1 lead. 2-0 pitch is outside now, 3-0. And Will Van Camp has to bear down. From the stretch, here's a 3-0 pitch. That one's over for strike one, now 3-1. First and third, 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning, 3-1. Over for strike two, and it's now a full count. The runner at first and Jablonski will get a head start. Runner at third is Bogner. Van Camp will come set. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Fouled back, and we'll do it again at 3-2. There's a big out right here. Be a big time out to keep it at 2-1. Here's a 3-2 pitch again. That one is popped up in foul territory. Hinkle will give chase. Is he going to run out of room? He does. I don't know if it hit the fence or not. The Welcome to Hyde Stadium, I think I got a piece of that, so it wasn't going to count even if he didn't make the catch. Well, the count stays full at 3-2. Will Van Camp will come set again. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Over and outside. And the bases are now loaded. And here's Anthony Johnson. Johnson is 0 for 2. He grounded out to the first baseman, Dean, in the first inning, struck out in the third. He walked, stole second, and came around to score on the 2-run homer by Easton Andreessen. First pitch is missed for ball one. Two hits in the ball game for Mandan, 2 hits for Pierre. 2-1 is our score for the Chiefs. That pitch is in the dirt now, 2-0. Nowhere to put Johnson. Gonna come right after him. Van Camp will come set. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's at the letters now, 2-1. Trying to keep this a 2-1 ball game. You're listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. The 2-1 pitch. That one is out towards right field. Zabel going back on it, and he will get to the warning track, and he will make the catch and bounce up against the wall. And it's a long third out from Anthony Johnson. No run score on 1 hit in the inning, no errors, and 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 6th. 8-9-1 for Post State, trying to tie this ball game up, trailing 2-1 to the Mandan Chiefs. You listen to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR, today's KCCR.com. Elliott Life will lead things off, followed by Justin Houlette, and then it will be Garrett Stouts. Who gets on base. It'll head back to Kate Hinkle. Since Jack Van Camp's single in the second inning, everybody's been retired in a row. And even Jack Van Camp was erased when he was caught stealing. First pitch to Elliott Life, swing and a miss, 0-1. So Post State has 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they have left nobody on base. No walks in the game given up by Burgum. Here's the 0-1. That one's at the letters, now 0-2. 3 strikeouts, 4 strikeouts in the ball game for Burgum. 0-2. That one's chopped at the plate. Life might even bounce off of it. Not sure how Life got a piece of it, but he fouled it away, and it's now still at 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one almost hits him, and it's now 1-2. Anyway, he'd be a base runner. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Life swings and misses a pitch in the dirt, and he strikes out for the second time. And there's 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's Justin Houlette. He was a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. And with a couple of strong at-bats here. Post State is just now through the second time of the order. Houlette, the number 9 hitter, hit just his second plate appearance. Count is 1-1 to the second baseman here in game number 2. Burgum will deliver the 1-1 pitch. That's a curveball. Good take there from Houlette, and it's now 2-1. Two-1 pitch from Burgum. There's a curveball over for strike 2, and the count is even. Garrett Stout is on deck. Here comes the 2-2 instead. Burgum will step off, reset. And we'll deliver the 2-2 one more time. And that one is low but taken for strike 3. And Houlette goes down on strikes for the second time. And there's now 2 down, and here's Garrett Stout. Stout's got 1 of the 2 hits, and he's got the 1 run with a home run that opened up the bottom of the first inning. First pitch misses low for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch to Stout also misses, now 2-0. Hinkle is on deck. He's grounded to the first baseman twice. Stout in his other at-bat grounded to the second baseman. Here's the 2-0 coming from Burgum to Stout. That one's over. It's now 2-1. If Post State is not able to pick up a base runner here, they'd have 2, 3, and 4 in the 7th inning to try and tie the ball game up. Here comes the 2-1. Curveball that misses, now 3-1. A good hitter's count for Garrett Stout. And Burgum is in danger of walking his first man of the ball game. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Stout, did he do it again? Down the right field line, but it's going to get foul. Had the distance. Gets a car over there, too. And it's now a full count. Turned on it, but didn't wait just long enough. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Outside, and it's a 2-out walk. And that will allow Kate Hinkle to come to the plate with 2 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. And the first walk issued by Burgum here tonight. And we'll see if Stout takes off on the first pitch or not, trying to get him in scoring position. This is only going to be the 71st pitch, or this 72nd pitch of the evening for Burgum. As the first pitch is fouled away. Stout was off with the pitch, but he will head back to first. 0-1 is the count to Cade Hinkle. The 0-1 bounces, will get away. It stays in front of the plate. Otherwise, that could have taken a hop, and that could have really helped Stout get to third. The count is now 1-1, but Stout is at second, and a base hit, which would be Post State's just third of the ball game, could tie the ball game up at 2. Burgum's had himself a fantastic game. Hinkle will dig back in. The count is 1-1. Burgum will come set from the stretch. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Hinkle grounds it to the right side, fielded by the second baseman. Kuntz to throw to first will end the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left on base. We head to the 7th inning. Post State's got to try and keep it a 2-1 ball game. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. Back here at Hyde Stadium, top of the 7th inning, Jack Van Camp is on the mound as he will deal to the number 2, 3, and 4 hitters. And Dreesen right now has got the game-winning hit if the score remains the same in the top of the 5th inning, which was a 2-run homer and gave Mandan that 2-1 lead. Was the first hit of the ball game. And only 1 hit since then as well. First pitch to Andreessen is hitting Andreessen, so he will take first. And the leadoff man is on base to open up the top of the 7th. And that'll bring in Isaac Huddle. Huddle's 0 for 2. He ground out to the first baseman, also struck out looking, drew a walk his last plate appearance. That one will be fouled away and out to Capitol Avenue. And it's 0-1 here to the catcher. It's 3, 4, and 5 for Post State in the bottom of the 7th. Hoping they need just 1 run to tie. If Will Van Camp and his defense behind him can keep it a 2-1 Mandan lead. The 0-1 is over for strike 2, and it's now 0-2 to the number 3 hitter in the order. Van Camp will come set. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. That one is inside and low. Now 1-2 gets stopped there by Hinkle. Would think that Will Van Camp will finish out the 7th inning barring any kind of real catastrophe. 1-2 pitch, runners off with the pitch. That was popped up on the left side, but it's going to get out of play. So we'll do it again at 1-2. For him, he can save some pitching. We'll probably see Elliott Life throw in the Minot tournament. Justin Hulette will probably throw. We'll probably see River Iverson throw for the first time. Bennett Dean might pitch. The 1-2 is inside, back to first, and back in safely is Andreessen. The count is now 2-2. Colin Bergman will not be available. A.J. Gayden would be available to throw in the Minot tournament. We'll probably see Lincoln Keenels throw as well. 2-2 off with a pitch again is the runner. That one's fouled again to the left side, and we'll do it again at 2-2. So plenty of options pitching-wise for Post State going into the Minot tournament. And you hope that you're going in with a 2-0 record against Mandan. Just couldn't get the base hits so far in the first 6 innings. Just 2 hits, and one of them was the leadoff home run, the only run so far for Post State. Count is now 3-2, and the number 3 hitter, Isaac Huddle. On deck is Cole Schmidt, who's been on base twice. Van Camp will come set. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Grounded foul. And we'll do it again. Two runs, 2 hits, no errors for Mandan. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Post State. We play here in the top of the 7th inning. Will Van Camp will come set. Here's the 3-2 one more time. Runner is off. Pitch misses, and it's a walk to Huddle, and there's now first and second with nobody out. Ground ball would be huge here if you can induce Cole Schmidt to hit into a double play. Be a courtesy runner for the catcher Huddle, as I believe it should be the catcher in the first game, which was at Klein Connect. So he will run for Huddle. Here's the first pitch. Trying to drop down a bunt. He will drop down a bunt. A.J. Gayden will come into field. The throw to first is going to be in time. The sacrifice works from Cole Schmidt. And 2 men are in scoring position now with 1 down. And here's the pitcher, Lucas Burgum, trying to help his cause, give the cushion, a little bit more cushion for the bottom of the 7th inning. A base hit would make it potentially 4-1. Post State will bring the quarters, or bring everybody in around the infield. Try and keep it a 2-1 ball game. First pitch is taken for strike 1. Burgum is 0 for 3. Popped out to the third baseman, popped out to the shortstop, and flew out to the right fielder, Zabel. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one is in the dirt, and a good block there from Hinkle, now 1-1. Life is out in center field. Jack Van Camp and Gray Zabel are in left and right field. Those 2 guys were the starters in Game 1 and Game 2 yesterday. So it'll be interesting how their arms can handle a throw to the plate on a fly ball out there. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Popped up on the infield. Garrett Stout will go after it. LA Life will come in to try and make a diving catch. Does not make the diving catch. And it'll be an RBI single. And that will make it 3-1. And that'll bring in Blake Ahrens with a 3-1 lead here for the Mandan Chiefs. With 1 down here in the top of the 7th. Ground ball would be huge. The middles can go back. We'll play for the double play. Corners most likely stay in. A.J. Gayden will stay in. Will Van Camp will come set. Here's the first pitch to Ahrens inside for ball 1. It's 1-0 here to the number 6 hitter in the order. Runner on first. That's Burgum. The courtesy runner is on at third, and now Burgum will take second. And the double play is no longer in order, and the infield will come in all the way around again to try and keep it a 3-1 lead. Will Van Camp. There's a line shot to right field. Zay will make the catch. Nobody's going to tag as the runner at third. And Klein Connect was on his way home and had to retreat back to third. And there's now 2 down. And with 2 away, Avery Bogner, who has walked twice and hit a triple, will come to the plate. Van Camp's first pitch. That one is back up the middle, fielded by Stout. The throw to first will end the top of the 7th inning. And there is 1 run on 1 hit in the inning. No errors and 2 men left on base. Post State needs at least 2 to keep this ball game alive as we go to the bottom of the 7th. You listen to Post State Baseball. Today's KCCR, today's KCCR.com. Bottom of the 7th inning, 3, 4, and 5 for Post State. A.J. Gayton, Gray Zabel, and Bennett Dean. They need 2 runs to try and keep this ball game alive. 3 runs and 3 hits for Mandan. 1 run, 2 hits for Post State. This is a big bottom of the 7th inning. Post State trying to extend their winning streak to 7. They've had 2 separate 6-game winning streaks. As the first pitch from Gayton is popped out of play. And a loss here would end that 6-game win streak. For the second time, they go to 13-5. So it's still not a bad record. We'd love to get that win streak up to 7 going to Minot. There's a 0-1 pitch that's in the left field for a base hit. And A.J. Gayton is going to bring the tying run to the plate. Here to open up the bottom of the 7th. As Burgum is trying to close this one out. Bennett Dean is on deck. First pitch is outside, 1-0 to Gray Zabel. He's 0 for 2. He struck out looking, also grounded back to the pitcher. This will be a great time for Zabel's first home run of the season. The 1-0 is outside, 2-0. Would tie the ball game up at 3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. A.J. Gayton will lead away from first. He's picked up the 3rd Post State hit of the ball game. Their first one since the bottom of the 2nd. The 2-0. Outside, 3-0. And do you give him the green light, or Zabel, baseball IQ, probably says, let me take a pitch, unless it is right down central. 3-0 is upstairs. No need to even attempt to swing. And the tying run is now on base, and the winning run will come to the plate. Nobody outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Burgum here in the top of the 7th, or the bottom of the 7th inning. is looking to close this out. But he's in danger for the first time. First pitch is inside for ball one. He has not seen this many guys on base all game. He only had 3 base runners the first 6 innings. He's let the first 2 men on base. So we'll have a mound visit here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 3-1 is our score. This has been a game that when you look at the box score and you see 3 runs, 3 hits, and no errors, and 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors, you think this game, if it's sitting at 9:23, would have started at probably about maybe 8:39. We'd be playing around an hour of this game. Instead, we're closing in on 2 hours, and we've had 3 runs and 6 hits combined, or 4 runs and 6 hits combined. Several walks, and Bow State working around plenty of walks through their 7 innings of work on the mound between Colin Bergman and Will Van Camp. So Bennett Dean with a 1-0 count. The pitch. Curveball, it's over for strike 1. Dean is 0 for 2. He's 0 for 5 on the day. A base hit could make it a 3-2 ball game. Drive one of the gap. Will at least put Zabel in scoring position. The 1-1 misses low, just below the knees, and it's now 2-1. Jack Van Camp is on deck. Will Van Camp would be after that. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one is over. It's now 2-2. And Dean has got to protect with the count even at 2-2. Bergam will come set. Here's a 2-2. Dean will chop it foul out in front of the curveball, and a good job to stay alive. Try and put a big battle against Bergam. And find a way on base for Jack Van Camp to come up. Try and put that tying run in scoring position. Count is 2-2. Bergam will come set. Dean will call time. And he will step back in, the left-handed hitting first baseman. Bennett Dean waits on the 2-2 from Bergam. Dean right back up the middle, base hit. That's in the center field. And A.J. Gaten will hold up at third, the tying run. That one will get to the backstop. Gaten's going to try and score. He will score. And it's now 3-2, and both runners move up. And the tying run is on at third. The winning run is in scoring position for Jack Van Camp. An error charge to Mandan. Might be charged to the catcher. That bounced right toward the catcher. And he could not make the play. So it's the first error of the ball game for either side. Jack Van Camp is up to the plate. Nobody out. And the tying run is on at third. First pitch to Van Camp is taken for strike 1. Bennett Dean is at second. He's the winning run. The infield is in all the way around. They don't want that tying run to come in to score. A base hit could win the ball game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one hits Jack Van Camp, so now the bases are loaded. And here comes Will Van Camp. And Will Van Camp, who is 0 for 2, he's flown out to the left fielder twice. If he does it again, he could tie the ball game up. The infield's drawn in all the way around. A ground ball, they're going to go home with it no matter what. They would take that one out. They don't want the double play right now. They will take that one out at the plate. But Will Van Camp's got to get to the outfield. First pitch, curveball, over for strike 1. Elliott Life is on deck. Bow State tying run is on 90 feet away. Bennett Dean, the winning run is at second. Pitch is in the dirt, and Zabel does not test it. And he got a good jump off of it, but he knew that was not far enough for him to try and score to tie the game up at 3. Count is at 1-1. Elliott Life will be the next hitter. Justin Hulett would be after that. Here's a 1-1 pitch. On the outside edge is now 1-2, and Van Camp's got to find a way. Again, put the ball in play. No strikeout here in this situation. Burgum will come set. Here's the 1-2. Van Camp out into right field. That's down for a base hit. 1 run will score. Benedine is going to be held up at third, and the ball game is tied at 3. As the pitcher, Will Van Camp, will tie the game up, and here comes Elliott Life with the bases loaded. Nobody out. They can win the ball game for Post State. Elliott Life, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Any way to get on base, the ball game is over. 3-3 is our score here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Burgum will come set from the stretch. Here's the first pitch to the center fielder. That one's off the edge. And catch is made by the third baseman. Diving back in safely is Dean at third. So there's just 1 down. And that'll bring in Justin Hulett as Life will line out to the third baseman. Great play there by Bogner. Made the catch and had the wherewithal to try and double off Dean. There's now 1 down. The middle could go back to try and play for a double play. They're playing even on the baseline right now with 1 down. First pitch misses low for ball 1. 3-3 is our score here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The 1-0 pitch to Hulett. That one's fouled back. And it's now 1-1. Garrett Stout is on deck. He would be the last man to hit in the inning or the ball game. One way or the other. It's Hulett and Stout. They're the last 2 to come to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th. 1-1 pitch is in the dirt now, 2-1. Justin Hulett, he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Nothing matters if he gets a base hit here. It all goes away. The 2-1 pitch. That one is flown out towards right field, and it's going to land foul. And it's now 2-2. And a fly ball to the outfield. We'll see if they can try and test and get Dean to score. So no strikeout and no double play ball. Anything else? You'll take anything else right now from Justin Hulett. The 2-2 pitch. There's a ground ball down the third base line, but it's foul. And here again, we'll have another 2-2 counts. Umpires run out of baseballs. We got a little bit of a delay here with 1 down to the bottom. The 7 bases are loaded. Got to run and get more baseballs from the concession stand. So here's the 2-2 pitch. Outside 3-2. And this becomes the biggest pitch of the ball game. Burgum will come set. 3-2 is the count with the bases loaded and 1 down. 3-3 ball game. There's a line shot into the center field. The center fielder make the catch. Benedine will tag, and he will not be able to score as the throw comes in high at home plate. And there's now 2 down, and it's up to Garrett Stout to win the ball game here for Post State. The outfielders were playing in for that very reason. Burgum's not going to finish the 7th inning. And we will have a pitching change with 2 outs at the bottom of the 7th. And what a situation to come into the game for the Mandan Chiefs, the next pitcher into this game. We will step aside for a minute. We'll come back with the changes for you. You're listening to Post State Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. So Stetson Kuntz will be the new pitcher, and he will face one batter at the bottom of the 7th inning. No matter what, he's going to face one batter. Garrett Stout will either win the ball game or we're going to go to the top of the 8th. The bases are loaded with 2 outs, nowhere to put him, nowhere for him to go. He's going to either win the ball game or we're going to go to extras. As I believe maybe it was going to go to second was going to be Burgum, or I should say shortstop was going to be Burgum. As we will have Burgum at shortstop, and Schmidt is over at second. So here is Kuntz against Garrett Stout. One batter here to face in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kuntz will come set, and time is called by Stout. Stout is 1 for 2. A home run to lead off the bottom of the 1st inning. He grounded out to the second baseman, drew a walk, and was straight at second. Here's the first pitch to Stout. Inside for ball 1. For Mandan, if we get to the 8th inning, it'll be 8-9-1. Jablonski, Kuntz, and Johnson. But this is the final hitter of the bottom of the 7th. Pitch inside corner, now 1-1. To the leadoff hitter in the order. The base is loaded and 2 down. We are tied up at 3 here in the bottom of the 7th. The 1-1 pitch. Misses low, 2-1. This is a intense situation to come into the ball game. 2 outs at the bottom of the 7th. The bases are loaded. You got to try and keep the game tied. The 2-1 pitch. Stout out towards right field. Did he get enough of it? Is it going to go? And walk off. Grand slam for Garrett Stout. And Post 8 wins it 7-3. His second homer of the ball game. What a way to finish it. A doubleheader sweep. And Post 8 has made it 7 in a row. And now 10 games over 500. A walk-off grand slam for Garrett Stout. And Post 8 wins it 7-3. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning, they score 6 runs in the 7th to win it. Back in 2 minutes to wrap this one up. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on today's KCCR and today's KCCR.com. As we welcome you back to Hyde Stadium and into the post-game show, and what a win for Post State. Garrett Stouts hits a home run to lead off the bottom of the first inning, comes back up in the bottom of the seventh and hits a walk-off grand slam to win 7-3 for Post State as they now extend the win streak to 7 and have got a 10-game now won 10 games over 500 at 14-4 on the year as they sweep the Mandan Chiefs here tonight. What a win. What fun baseball here on this Wednesday evening. Stick around to the very end for that one. 10-4 in the first game for Post State, 7-3 in the second game as they will take the doubleheader sweep. And Coach White, that's one that's, again, another win in another fashion for Post State. Didn't hit the ball very well. They also didn't play an overall good ball game through the first 6 innings. Colin Bergman pitched well, he had too many walks. Too many walks were given up, and then gave up just one hit, which was a 2-run homer for Andreessen that gave him a 2-1 lead. Able to get one more run did Mandan, and then a 6-run bottom of the 7th as Post State's got 2 runs on A.J. Gayden. He got a base hit. Zabel walked a base hit for Dean. The error caused Gayden to score, allowed Gayden to score. Jack Van Camp was hit by a pitch. Will Van Camp with an RBI single. Elliott Life lined out to the third baseman. Justin Houlette lined out to center field. And then Garrett Stout with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning hits a walk-off grand slam. And Post State is now 14-4 on the season as they head up to Minot for 4 games in 2 days. Potential of a 5th game if they are one of the top 2 teams. And we'll play in the championship on that Sunday. Our next broadcast is at 3:30 on a Friday as they will face the East Grand Forks team, and we'll open up the Minot tournament, and then they'll play Bismarck right after, as Post State will look for win number 8 in a row on Friday afternoon at 3:30. We'll have coverage starting around 3:15 on today's KCCR, KCCR.com, as well as over on a YouTube channel at KCCR Sports. For Ray Lewis, back at the station, I'm John Winkler. What a win for Post State. They win 10-4 in Game 1 and a walk-off grand slam from Garrett Stout in Game 2 as they win it 7-3, a doubleheader sweep of the Mandan Chiefs, as we say good night from Hyde Stadium.